and I was like, well, what are the systems that I need? He calls it the aggregation of marginal returns: behavior, time, and location. Hello and welcome. My name is Gino Barbaro, one of the co-founders of Jake and Gino. And in this how-to, we are going to be discussing how to properly set goals to buy your next multifamily. I think the problem is when people start out in multifamily and they're just starting out, or even right now in this part of the market cycle, we get overwhelmed. We focus just on the goal. Ultimately, gang, the goal is the result. That's what we're focused on. I've got to get my next deal, or I've got to get my first deal. How do I do that? What do I need to do? What are the things that need to happen? You have all this confusion. Confusion does not lead to clarity. Confusion leads to chaos, which leads to not knowing what to do next. So let's focus on goal setting here. Let's focus on systems and processes here. I'm going to go into James Clear's Atomic Habits book because he lays out some excellent points about setting goals, about creating habits, about identity. And then what I'm going to do in the second part of the show is discuss how you apply all of these systems and processes and methodologies into actually getting your next deal. But let's first do a little bit of a background of what a goal is, a system, and a process. I fell into the trap early on about learning goal setting and setting goals. I would feverishly write down goals. How many of you did this? You write down your goals and all you do is focus on your goals, or you'd have a vision board and you put them up there, and great. Sometimes you hit the goal, sometimes you didn't. One thing that was really weird for me, though, and I think a lot of you out there might have the same feeling, is after I hit that goal, big deal. I didn't feel happy. I didn't understand. Why is that? I just got my first deal. I should be thrilled. Well, scratch that goal off. Let's go to the next one. And it felt as if I was on a hamster wheel, doing the next deal, doing the next goal, having the next kid, buying the next car, owning the next home. Goals are great for setting a direction. We need a direction in life. Do you remember I was talking about the confusion? If I'm confused, I'm going to lack clarity. And then lacking clarity, I'm going to lack motivation to be able to take the actions to set those goals and to hit those goals. What is more important, as James Clear loves to point out, is systems. Fall in love with the systems or the processes that you need to take every day to be able to hit the goals. Once I sat down and I was like, well, what are the systems that I need? And we're going to be going over the systems after the break. What are those systems look like? Then I really started enjoying the game. And this can be for anything. If you're trying to lose weight, the goal is to lose 30 pounds. We're worried about losing the goal. We're worried about losing the 30 pounds. Well, what's the system of the process? Well, start enjoying the things that you need to do. Supplementation. I know running, weight conditioning, that may be hard, but you have to fall in love with the system or the process, or else you're going to quit once it gets a little bit challenging because you're not going to lose 30 pounds in 3 days. You're not going to buy your next deal in 2 months. Well, if you do, God bless you. It took me and Jake 18 months to find our first deal. And if I didn't at least stick in there and I didn't follow some of these rules and guidelines, I never would have bought that very first deal. So it's very important. Also, what James Clear talks about, I want you to write this down because this was totally uplifting to me. I didn't feel like a jabroni. I didn't feel like a loser because I was doing something and I wasn't getting better. He calls it the aggregation of marginal returns. Let me say that again, the aggregation of marginal returns. Every day you do something, you get a little bit better. Even if you get 1/10% better. At the end of the week, maybe you might get 1% better. At the end of the year, you see those gains growing. And just by understanding that, hey, you're underwriting a multifamily deal, I'm completely overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm looking at. That's okay. Everybody starts there. But understanding that putting in those numbers the first day may be challenging. Then the second day you do it, not as hard, but still a little rough. I don't know what this NOI means, and I'm not sure what amortization means. Well, by day 3, you're starting to understand that. Give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. Have some compassion with yourself for yourself. And more importantly, understand that the aggregation of the marginal returns, doing that work day in and day out, putting on those sneakers, going for a jog, at the end of the week, you may not see a lot of progress. You may see a little bit of progress. But at the end of the month, you're going to see a little bit more progress. And at the end of the quarter, you're going to see even more progress. Understand that. Here's another tip that he discusses: the implementation intention. This is great. Behavior, time, and location. I'm going to underwrite 5 deals every week sitting in my office. So you've got the behavior, you're going to do something, where you're going to do it, and what time. For me, after this podcast, I am going to go jog in my neighborhood right after the show for 30 minutes. I've got it written down. That's my intention. You put the intentions out, you're more likely to take the actions. But very important. So you got the aggregation of marginal returns. You've got the implementation intention. And the third one, which I thought was profound to me, and I really adopted this myself, is you need to start identifying as a person who wants to be healthy. You need to identify as a multifamily investor. I remember back in August of 2015, I'm in the shed at my restaurant. I've got the cell phone jammed into my ear. I'm around the shed putting away bags of flour. Those to-go containers, I'm putting them away. I'm counting how many brown paper bags we have because I've got to do the order. In conjunction, while talking to Jake and negotiating an $11 million real estate deal. As I sat there thinking to myself, I'm doing $12 an hour work here while I'm negotiating this life-changing, massive real estate deal. That's when I finally understood I need to start identifying, I need to start embracing the identity of a multifamily investor and start shedding the identity of the pizza guy. I know you have it in you if you're looking to get into multifamily. I know that you need to start identifying as that multifamily investor. Not, hey, I'm going to dabble. I just got an email from somebody yesterday saying, I'm thinking about getting into that. I'm looking at the deals. No, if you're thinking about it, done. You're going to look at one deal, it's not going to work, and it's over. If you truly want to get into multifamily, have a life-changing experience, get into one of the best investment vehicles, you need to start identifying as one. Why? Because you're going to start taking the actions of one. If you want to get healthy and you're saying to yourself, I'm going to be a healthy person. Well, what does a healthy person do? They don't sit on the couch watching Netflix. They exercise, they supplement properly, they have enough nutrition, they hydrate, and they take care of their bodies. That's the identity of a healthy person. And the same thing goes with the identity of a multifamily person. What do those steps look like in multifamily specifically? Well, the first one, I was just screaming about it 20 seconds ago. Just start identifying as one. It doesn't mean you own 3,000 units. It doesn't mean you even did a deal. You just need to start understanding that you want it. It's in your core. It's in your DNA. You deserve it. And you are identifying as a multifamily entrepreneur, as one investing for your financial future. The second one, after you've done all that, you felt good, you really need to get your psychology going. Let's start setting up some systems and some processes. Remember, fall in love with the process, the system, not just the goal. Well, here's a process or a system that you need to fall in love with. Market selection. You need to select the market. What does that process look like? Well, we just got off a call with Crexi the other day, crexi.com. Go on their website. They have a free tool and they have a paid version. If you'd like to get a discount off the paid version, email me, gino@jakeandgino.com. I'll put you in touch with Sean there. He'll hook you up with a subscription. That tool is phenomenal, even the paid subscription. Start analyzing a market. Start going in, looking at the metrics of the market, going in Google Maps, seeing what the market looks like, choosing a market based on what your goals are. Do you want more cash flow, higher cap rates, more capital appreciation, lower cap rates? Do you want to be a value investor, momentum play? Do you want to buy newer assets, older assets? That is the first step in becoming a multifamily investor and understanding what assets and where you want to invest in. You have to start with that. Once you've selected the market, that's the system to do that. Let's put that system on the side. Now, the next one, it's all about deal flow. Well, what does that system or process look like? It's pretty simple, and yet it can be a pain in the ass. You need to go online in your market, Google multifamily brokers, and start opting in to every broker in your market. Correctly, once again, go on their website, free subscription. For free service. You can go on there and look at all of the brokers that they have and start reaching out to their brokers. Don't reach out to them yet. Get on their lists. You want to start getting offering memorandums sent into your inbox. How do you do that? The system is to try to get on as many brokers as you can. Once again, I'm going to reach out and contact 3 brokers a day for the next 2 weeks. If you get 3 brokers at the end of the week, 5 days, it's 15. At the end of 2 weeks, you've gotten on to 30 brokers lists. You see that system or process? I'm still not worried about closing a deal. That's the goal, trying to get there. But to get there, I have to work here. Once you start getting on brokers lists, the next one is start getting the deal flow and start getting offering memorandums and start analyzing deals, start underwriting deals. I'm going to underwrite 1 deal a day per week in my office at 9 o'clock in the morning, for example. If you underwrite 1 deal a week, 1 deal a day, that's 5 deals a week. At the end of the year, at 52 weeks, you've underwritten over 250 deals. On average, if you need to look at and underwrite between 100 and 150 deals in this market, well, do you think you're going to close a deal? Odds are you have a much better chance of closing a deal with that system or process other than saying, I want to close a goal. I want to close a deal. That's my goal. You need to set up that process to start underwriting deals. You need to underwrite. If you can't do 1 a week, 1 a day, do 2 a week. Even at 2 deals a week, at the end of 52 weeks, you have 100 deals you've underwritten. And not only does it give you the chance to get close to that deal at the end of the year, remember the aggregation of marginal benefits? If you've written 100 deals, underwritten at 100 at the end of the year, can you imagine month 13, how proficient and how good you're going to be? You're not even going to have to waste time underwriting deals. You're going to be getting deals into your inbox and going, I understand this. I don't have to waste my time. You're going to get so much better and so much quicker. That system becomes easier because then from there, you're going to get quicker with this next system is putting in offers, putting in letters of intent. This may be a little bit trickier, but if you don't put in letters of intent, you have no shot of closing your first or your next deal. That's the reality. So the next one would be, I want to put in 1 LOI per week. And if you can put in 1 LOI per week at the end of 52 weeks, you got 52 LOIs you put in. Chances are you're going to close a deal. Now, the problem is in certain market cycles, especially where we are right now, it's pretty challenging putting in offers because there's not a lot of deal flow. Let those other systems and processes work their way. Become the expert. Another system that I would put in is I'm going to reach out to 2 brokers per week and text them. If you reach out to 2 brokers per week, at the end of the year, you have 100 brokers you've spoken to. It doesn't seem like a lot at the end of the month. You've only done 8. But if you see the aggregation of those returns by the end of the year, you've reached out to 100. And then the system and the process for that is to reach out every 3 months. Calendar reminders, AI, whatever tech you want to use. You have a CRM, you start doing that. Important. I think the last system that I would share with you is the money. Most of us are stuck on, well, I can't get into multifamily because I don't have money. There's two things you're doing in real estate, in any real estate niche. You're sourcing for deals, which is that system that I just talked about, and now you're sourcing for capital. That system would say, I'm going to reach out to 2 investors every Wednesday morning per week while I'm having my cup of coffee. If you reach out to 2 investors a week, at the end of the year, you've spoken to 100 investors. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I don't know, how am I going to get my investors? Well, you may say to yourself, another system or process, I'm going to join Facebook groups. I'm going to go to seminars. I'm going to join masterminds. I'm going to join the Wheelbarrow Profits community and get access to other investors. There are so many countless ways. Start with your church. Start with your job. Start with your friends and your family. There's no excuse. You can pick up your phone and you have hundreds and hundreds of connections on there and on LinkedIn. What's holding you back is the identity piece. Go back to number 1. If you identify as a multifamily investor, you'll feel more confident in reaching out to them. That system is so important, the investor system, because what ends up happening is you've done your work. You've got the deal flow. You're underwriting deals. You put in offers, and then holy crap, a deal just landed in my lap. I love when people say that. The deal just didn't land in your lap. You just didn't get lucky. You put in the work. You put in the effort. Well, now you need to get rewarded. If you don't have the capital or the investors, all that work is gone for naught. It's a waste of time. What you need to do is you need to be sourcing investors. And it's to say that Jake and I, we didn't have investors early on. We saved our own money. So we bought deals ourselves and we partnered up with somebody else. So if you're not looking for investors, possibly looking for joint venture partners, maybe reach out to one person a week to see if they'd like to joint venture with you, to partner up with you. These are all the systems that you need to start running in your business. Ultimately, goals are important. They're the direction. If you don't know where you're going, I want to close 100 units by the end of the year. That's important. That's the direction. Now, for you to close 100 units, how many deals is that? Let's say it's 2 deals. Well, I need to close 2 deals by the end of the year. Great, that's the goal. Don't fall in love with that goal. Fall in love with all those processes that I've just laid out for you. Now, if you want to get more information on our 3-step process about investing in multifamily, email me, gino@jakeandgino.com, and I'll send you a free copy of Wheelbarrow Profits that helps you out with the systems and the processes of buying right, financing right, and managing right. I want to thank you for spending part of your day with me. I know how precious your time is, and I just really want to thank you. It's an honor and a privilege that you spend part of that time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you on next week's How To. Take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe so you'll never miss another episode.